a British
Mm.
accent or American accent. Britishers is quite easy. I mean, because they pronounce the word clearly. But
Yeah.
Americans are kind of difficult because they chew up lots of the word together and they speak so fast.
But in my case, I feel Americans are little clear. And yesterday I was watching Beast's podcast
Beast.
on
Huh?
Mr. Beast. Yeah, Mr. Beast podcast with Ranbir Alawadia. So I was not able. Hello, good evening.
So,
How are you?
yeah, good evening. Doing well, doing awesome. Thank you for asking. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm also doing well. Thank you so much for asking.
So, how have you been doing since last time we met? I think it has been month now.
Yes, yes. So yeah, I have been doing great in my life. Uploading conversation, having session with students. Yeah, I'm doing well. What about you?
Yeah, everything is fine. I'm doing great. I think, yeah, my life is going good. So far, everything has been great in this year. I think last year it was good too. So, yeah, there's no complaint about it. Uh, so,
Great.
how is your channel doing?
Yeah, it's doing well. I am content with my channel.
Great. Nice to hear that.
Yes. So, do you have anything in your mind? Want to discuss something?
No, I haven't thought about any topic, but I think, sometimes casual conversation goes in a direction where we don't have questions to ask to each other, right? But
Right, right.
let's decide we can talk about anything. So we can
Okay. So,
even have a casual conversation or we can talk about the particular
yeah.
topic.
So, first of all, please tell me how was your day? It was Sunday. So, how was your day? What did you do?
It was Sunday. I woke up very late today. I think 2 hours late than usual time because it
Mhm.
was Sunday. So it was off day for me. And I think most of the people have off day as Sunday. So I woke up around 9 o'clock in the morning. After that, I did my, daily chores like usual things. Later on, I became busy in kind of making videos. I had a session with other YouTubers. I started kind of recording myself around 10:30 and it went on for 12:30. Tell me about your day.
Yeah, it
I
went
also
well.
I at evening I also went outside, okay? I because I love going into nature, so today was kind of I had time, I had a spare time, so I went there. I enjoyed in the nature, and also I went to market. I had to purchase something. I bought it. Yeah. Now please tell me about your day.
Yeah. So my day also went well. I woke up early in the morning today. I usually try to wake up early in the morning on Sundays because I can do sessions. And some people who are working professional, they are free only on Sunday. So I have to wake up early for preparing content or preparing questions for them. So I woke up early in the morning. Then I had 2, 3 conversation for my channel and for their channels too, and after that I read some pages, atomic habit book, and then I had breakfast, and then again I started reading my book because whole day I am free. So these type of stuff I did. Then I watched a podcast related to YouTube and all. So yeah, this is how I did, and now I'm here. I'm talking to you.
Nice to
So
hear
my
that.
Sundays, yeah, my
Your son
Sundays always productive.
productive. Okay, great. Yeah, I think a few people are able to make Sunday productive. Otherwise, most of people they just lying on the bed, just they waste their time. They think, yeah, it is Sunday. But yeah, you told truly for working professionals, they do not get time other days. So Sunday is the best day for them to even
Yeah.
relax and to even work, right?
Hmm. And I feel comfortable when I do conversation. I enjoy. So I think it is the right way to enjoy your day. So I
Yeah,
am
it is.
comfortable in this comfort.
Yeah. Okay, I forgot. I think you had told me you are a teacher or you are like preparing for certain examinations. So,
Yes,
what do you do as a work?
I'm preparing for JRF. I have qualified net, so now I'm preparing for JRF. I My exam was on 9th Jan, so now I am totally free. So nowadays I'm teaching some students online, and
Okay,
apart
great.
from this, I'm focusing upon my channel. Yeah, these things I'm doing.
Okay. No, when you told me like, yeah, it was off day for you as well, then I thought like you might be uh going to office or doing other works, or you might have job. Okay, so you
Mhm.
are a freelancer, like you teach online
Yes,
students.
yes, yes.
Great, great.
Yeah, so I have a question for you. Shall I ask?
Of course.
Yeah. Can you share a moment when you felt truly confident in your English skill? And what made that moment stand out throughout your English learning journey?
I think most of the time I feel confident because I speak out my mind. So I do not need to think too much about people or people around me. What happens sometimes fear holds us back, or we think what people will think about me. So even I make mistake. I know I'm making mistake. I have to correct it. I have to work upon it. So when you are yourself, then you do not need to be worried about confidence. So
Hmm.
what happens sometimes we want to speak out some kind of a special sentences, and we start thinking about in our mind, and sometimes we also show off like yeah, we are great speakers. I mean, whatever we are, we need to show it, right? So we do not need to become somebody else. And when we try to fit in others' shoe, then we get fumble, we get kind of underconfident. So I just feel confident because I speak out my mind. Whatever I think, I try to narrate it. Yeah, so you told me like when I felt confident, I never calculated these moments like when I truly felt confident or underconfident. Yeah, as a human beings, it happened with us automatically. Sometimes we feel great. Like if I'm working on my English on a stage, definitely, it boosts up my confidence and I feel confident. But when I'm not working on it, I do not feel that much confident. So I sometimes, fumble. I start thinking in my mind, something start playing background in my mind. So yeah, it happens.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, in my case also, when I started having conversation, that time I was not that much confident, but after having two, three conversation, I felt confident now. Yeah, now I can do it, and I can do it with confidence. Initially, I used to prepare questions like when we have to talk to any tutor, so we have in our mind that person is more fluent, and that person is going to correct myself. Even that person is maybe that person will judge my English or judge me because I'm not good at English. So there's so many things going on in my head, but slowly and gradually I faced that situation, and slowly and gradually I became confident. Now I don't have any fear or hesitation just because of facing the fear again and again.
Yeah, it happens. So
Mhm.
always, when you are doing something again and again, then you
Hmm.
feel confident. And people truly said, everybody has fear. Even brave people have fear, but they overcome it. They try to overcome it. But one who is timid, they do not cross the boundary. So we need to face our fear. Initially, I was also not feeling confident. And think about when I had started my conversation journey in 2020. I was full of beans, I think. I do not find that energy even today that I had in those days because I did not think about the people. I was just thinking about myself because I knew I do not know English. I'm learning here. I'm just for learning purpose. So I do not need to show off. I do not need to care about people whether they are mocking or appreciating me. If they are appreciating, good. If their comments are positive, then I'm gonna take it. Otherwise, if their comment is negative, I'm not going to take it. And I had made the mindset, and that mindset helped me to overcome the barrier. Otherwise, I could have got disappointed by the comments and lots of feedbacks. So it we need to set our own mindset to conquer any sort of I think goals or success.
Yes, yes. And sometime we get a negative comment and positive comments also. So we just have to see where we are and where we have to go. And yeah, we should take positive, some constructive feedback if there are people who are giving us constructive feedback. So then we can take comments little like dil se laga sakte hain. Otherwise we have to ignore them.
Yeah, we need to ignore them. Mhm. So one should be wise enough to understand what is for them and what is not for them. So take something which is positive for you and leave other on their own way, right? So one who has commented or who has tried to pull you down, they will take it themselves again.
Yeah, and you have a big YouTube channel, so you must be getting good or bad comments every day. So how do you deal with them, and how do you answer to their negative comments?
Most of the time I do not answer the negative comments because I know the people have that sort of mindset and I cannot change them at once, right? Because they have brought that mindset since long time and they also nurtured it within their brain, so it took time to nurture it. So even if I will try to comment and take it away in just in one comment, it is not possible. So I do
Yeah.
not answer them most of the time, but sometimes if I feel like answering them, if it is logical, then I answer them whether
Mm.
they can understand it or not. So that's how I deal with the comments. So comments is part and partial part of our conversation journey. Like somebody will comment you positively, somebody is going to pull your leg. So you don't need to care about it too much. Yeah. And that's how I deal with the situation.
Okay, great. And there are so many people who always appreciate you, and on the other hand, there's some people who always pull you down. So we don't need to worry about those people. Some people have jealous also, as I
Yeah.
feel some people are jealous.
I remember lots of comment out of jealousy.
Mm,
For how can you get so many subscribers? You are
mm,
speaking such a bad English. You have to stop posting your videos. Even such sort of comments. Okay, I had found in my comment sections. So c- clearly, I could see jealousy in them. It
yeah,
happens. It happens. It is part of our human society and human life.
right, right. Yeah. Even I have a small channel, but sometime I also get these type of comments. You are not fluent. Why are you making videos? You have to do some other work. Even I have invited one fluent speaker on my channel. That time they criticized me. They told me, "You are not that much fluent. That lady is very much fluent." So I told them, "She is fluent. That is why I have invited you. I want to learn from her. That is why I invited her on my channel, and you people also can learn from them. I'm thinking about you and myself also, but you are criticizing me." So I always ignore these type of comments.
Yeah, we need to ignore them to grow ourselves and to go ahead in our own path.
Right, right. So what's your opinion on the difference between sounding fluent and being fluent?
Sometimes people fake their accent or try to speak too fast to just
Hmm,
show off their fluency. So I don't feel they are fluent. Even if you're a
hmm,
slow speaker, you are comfortable enough to convey your message to the audience, then that means you are fluent. So the fluency definition of fluency has been taken, I think, wrongly by lots of people. They feel like if they are somebody just speaking fast English, faking the accent from other countries, then only they are fluent. But it's not the reality. Reality that if you are able to deliver your message effectively as you want to deliver it, what happens
hmm,
sometimes we want to communicate effectively. Like in Hindi, whatever we want to convey, we convey with the feeling. When we are sad, we convey our message with sadness. When we are angry, we convey our
hmm.
message with anger, or
Yeah.
whatever like situations we already become the situation and we try to express it. If we are able to do the same thing in English, then I think you are fluent. It doesn't matter how slow or how fast you are speaking, because I have seen so many speakers like one of the philosopher also. He used to speak very slow English.
Yeah.
Anybody can think, okay, how somebody can speak such a slow English? But he was so effective in his communication. He kind of shook the whole world in around 1990. Okay, he has started his journey from 1960. Around 1960 to 1990, he shook the whole world with his a
Hmm.
speech and the Hindi speech or English speech too. So I feel like becoming confident or fluent is a totally different thing for different individuals. You do not need to take it as a following others.
And there are some YouTubers, just because they want to get good views, they become little fake, or they start copying others, they start speaking like fancy English, or they start using uh, fancy words, vocab, so it seems really fake.
Yeah, sometimes seems fake. And second thing is that it is our second language. We do not need to, bring all those British word or American words in our on daily life conversations. We need to speak very simple English that others can understand, but we need to be effective. I always emphasize on effectiveness, like how effective I am while I'm communicating with the people. Like right now, I'm communicating with you, whether I'm able to clearly deliver my message or not. If I'm able to do it, yes, I feel good. I feel, yeah, okay, my work is done. But if there is a problem in conveying my message, then I think I need to work on my every sector of the English. So it's not like even if I'm fluent, I should not learn new vocabulary words or phrasal verbs, or I need to incorporate new sentence structures. I need to do all these activities. But we do not need to make it a big and huge deal. Sometimes people had made it such a big deal that even learners sometimes give up. They think, okay, I cannot do it, because they start thinking about all the fancy words and complex grammars and structures, and they give up. Yeah, so we need to make it simple and very easy to understand.
And at the end of the day, we are Indian and we have to accept our accent. We can't be like foreigners. We have to speak simple English, try to speak clearly. I also follow this rule, like when I started learning this language.
This English is spread because of its own ease. If somebody would only start learning the American accent or British accent, then English will not spread in the world, because you will have to put lots of effort to speak like them. We have born in other geographical conditions and other society where we never have come across those words which they have been using. We do not have our tongue movement like them. We do not make the lips the way they are making. So it is always difficult for us to get into that shape. So yeah, but few people can do it. There are so many polyglot, like they can speak lots of accent, right? It's great for them. Very few can do it at like great level. Otherwise, other looks very faking it, or they are making a fake sound. So it is
Yeah, but
better than. Mhm,
it's their choice. If they want, they can do.
mhm. So I, let me ask. I think I totally engrossed myself in answering your questions. I did not ask you any question. Okay.
Yeah, if you have
Mm.
any, you can ask.
So, yeah, I have questions. Tell me about your most favorite activity that you perform to improve your English.
In previous conversation also, I told you my one of the best hobbies is reading book. I read every day and I read aloud. That is one of the best thing, and it is game changer for me. I usually go on my roof and then I start reading aloud, out loud, and yeah, that is I do every day. I never skip any single day, and it helps me in my pronunciation, my vocabulary building, sentence structure also. So yeah.
How do you work on your vocabulary?
Yes,
Can you
did
hear
you
me
got?
now?
Yes, now I can hear
Okay,
you.
please.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you were asking about vocabulary, I think.
I asked about it. How do you work on it?
First thing, reading book helped me a lot, because when we read, so there are some word, they are coming repeatedly, so unconsciously we are learning them, and somewhere we are not learning consciously, but we learn just understanding the whole meaning we learn. And this is how I learn from books, or sometime I watch podcast. So from podcast I write down whole line or whole sentence. If I found, yeah, that sentence is really impressive or interesting, so I write down in my diary, and I try to use in my conversation that whole sentence. Or yes, these two things I'm doing. And while listening to others conversations, so that time I inculcate some new words and I try to use it. So yeah, these things I'm doing.
Okay, great. Do you also watch any series, web series? Like lots of people say, okay, I want to become fluent in English or good at English. I need to watch web series or any TV shows. Do you watch any sort of thing like that?
Yes, I usually watch some cartoon movies on Amazon Prime. So yesterday I watched Panda in Africa. So that was also wonderful, wonderful movie, and English was also fantastic. So I watched that movie. But I don't watch these type of particular series. Like I have to sit every day and then watch. No, I just if I feel yeah today I have in a mood I want to watch something, so I go for a movie, whole movie, like 2 3 hours, and then if I found something interesting, so I write down in my diary and I try to use it if I having conversation, because we are learning every day, but if we are not noting it down or if we are not able to use it, so I think there is no use. Yeah. So I was saying, so there is no use if we are not able to use it. So I try to use it. Even if I learn 2 3 words, so I try to use it.
Hmm. Okay, great, great work. How do you improve your pronunciation?
Pronunciation, still I am working upon my pronunciation. I am doing some activities. I think you are also aware about that. We have to put a pen in our mouth and then we have to speak. I think you are aware about it or
I
not.
know this method. I tried many times, but I
Yeah.
never keep up with this method. Like I given up. I started doing different things instead of it. So please let me know how much you have improved after using this method.
Yes, I feel something good with my T sound. To, these type of sounds, I feel yeah, I am little bit okay with the sound. Usually, I earlier I was not able to speak the sound correctly, but now I feel after doing this activity, I do every day. Like I read one page at least in a day with putting pan in my mouth, and then I speak again, then I do it. So yes, it helping me.
It is helping you. Wow, great. Yeah, it's one of the one of the most popular methods among the English pronunciation learners. Like they put the pen in the mouth, they try to speak the word. I
Mm.
had also tried 3 or 4 days, but after that I don't know why I left it. But I think I need to do it to improve my pronunciation as well. I want to sound as clear as possible. So every day working on the sound and pronunciation is, I think, one of the best investment on English.
Yes, and there is a particular channel I'm following her. She's also very good speaker, and she always upload activity related to pronunciation. So I always practice with her, and I feel like I started practicing with her. It's been only 2 3 days, and I feel yeah, that is the correct way. Like she first she speaks, and then we have to speak after her, and yeah, this is how we don't remember how much we practiced, or it's enjoying. Like she's also very funny kind of lady, so yes, I'm practicing with her
What is the name
also.
of the channel?
I forgot, but I will tell you after the session. I forget. I
Okay, is
think
it Indian channel?
no, she's from native place. I think she's from America.
Okay, she's from America. Then I had also followed few of the channels from America. One of the
Mhm.
most one of my favorite channels was English. What is the name of her channel? Right now, Rachel's English. Rachel's
Yes,
English.
I sometime I watch her videos.
Okay, so
English with
she was
people.
breaking down each and every word, and she was teaching how to pronounce the word. And I think
Yeah.
in 2020 and 21, I had lots of problem with the pronunciation. I was not able to speak the single word correctly. But when I started working on her videos, uh, and after that, I think I started pronouncing the words rightly. So
Mm.
yes, I also followed few of the American channels to learn the pronunciation. So
Mm.
it's really helps.
Yes.
There were a few other channels as well. Like she showing shadowing method. Okay, she's from
Mm.
Australia. English with
English lab.
Lucy.
Yes,
One is English
Lucy.
with Lucy from British, says Britishers. Okay, so I had been following all these channels. Eh,
And one more is there, Lingua. I think Lingua. She is also very a nice speaker. I love the way she speaks. She is very she speaks really clear. So I love the way her she
mhm,
speaks. So I follow her sometimes just because of if I want to learn some phrases, idioms. So she um, like she do some exercise. She does some exercise and we can follow. Yeah.
mhm. I can understand. Yeah, lots of the foreigners cannot sound clear, but
Hmm.
there are few who sounds clear, and when they
Yes.
sounds clear, their channel is good for us. Yeah, we need
Yes.
the clarity of the sound because it is very complex task to us for to understand, those British
Mm,
accent or American accent. Britishers is quite easy. I mean, because they pronounce the word clearly, they put their
mm,
intonation on the word. But
yeah.
Americans are kind of difficult because they chew up lots of the word together and they speak so fast.
But in my case, I feel Americans are little clear. And yesterday, I was watching Mr. Beast's
Beast.
podcast.
Hmm?
Mr. Beast, yeah, Mr. Beast podcast with Ranbir Alawadia. So I was not able to understand whole sentences what he was saying. So for me, it was difficult. So I on the caption button and then I started reading with him. So sometimes it's difficult for us.
No, sometimes what happens, it depends on individuals.
Mm,
Individual from America can be easy to understand. They can be lucidable. Or on the other hand, sometimes Britishers can be understandable or lucidable. So
it
it
depends.
depends on the person to person.
Hmm. Yeah, so for me that podcast was interesting, so I wanted to watch a full podcast. So I turn on that caption button and then I watched full podcast. It was amazing actually. For YouTubers it was amazing, so I watched full podcast. Yeah.
Mhm.
So do you
Okay.
follow any podcast like who is from India, podcaster who is from
India, I think I would have watched the Ranveer's podcast. No doubt
Mhm.
about it. Whenever I had to watch podcast, but
Mhm.
I'm following right now American podcast. So
Mhm.
right now I don't remember the name of the channel, but I listen in every morning. I listen their
Okay.
podcast every morning. I
Mhm.
even I have a nighttime bed story. I think that channel is also from America, so I listen to them at night while sleeping, while
Mhm.
while I go to bed.
Mhm.
So I follow these two routines as far as my listening is concerned. Even if I get time during day, then I try to listen as much as possible in English, and always I consume content in English. So that's what I
Mhm.
follow. I one of the bad thing about me is that I do not read books every day. So I need to cultivate this habit. Yeah, it is
Yes.
my weakness because reading books helps us a lot to frame the right structure, and it also gives us lots of vocabulary words that I need to incorporate in my speaking right now. I used to work on Champak, so I loved working on Champak. Champak is kind of a magazine,
Yes,
so
I
it
used
is
to read in my
okay.
childhood. Yes,
Mhm.
jump.
So it has beautiful sentences, small beautiful sentences which can could be used every day in daily life. So I
Mm,
would start working on it again. I also want to teach my students because I'm a teacher. I'm teaching my students how to communicate and all these stuff. So I am gonna work on Champak, and I also gonna make my students work on it so
mm.
they can improve it.
Yes, yes. So reading is must if we want to gain some ideas for our channel, like which type of content we want to deliver. Like it is the real, or I can say, if we are reading book every day, so we have a lot of content in our mind while having conversations. So if we don't need to find out content for our channel, we can easily find out content for from books. So yes, we can do it. We
Hmm.
can do it.
We can, yeah, like last night I had created some PPT and slides. So I thought of explaining it to my students, and also I will record and enter. I will post on my channel. So I also try to bring something new on my channel, and
Hmm.
I want to work on it. Later, in past 2 3 years, I couldn't do it uh, because I did not had many teachers at my institute, so I had to work on my
Hmm.
students. But right now, I brought lots of tutors, so I have given assigned them work. So I'm totally free to work on my English and my students' English. So I enjoy working there now. Yeah, so I have started cultivating lots of new habits to improve my English and the English of my students.
Great, great. And it is also kind of enjoyment. If we are helping and we are helping others and our in other way our also. We are learning and
Mhm.
we are teaching. So yeah, it's a really beautiful
And
journey.
when you love something, and if you work and if you kind of fulfill your work, then you feel contentment within your heart that you
Right.
cannot feel in other works. So when I work on my English because I love it, I feel kind of energy, enthusiasm inside myself. I feel a
Yeah.
contentment that I don't feel like teaching science and other subject because I also taught science, but the way I taught English and it gives me contentment.
Hmm. So how long have you been learning or teaching this language?
I think I have been teaching English since 2017 grammar portion, but
Okay.
learning is, as far as my learning is concerned, I started learning in 2020 during lockdown. I had time, spare time. We all had spare time because we had to do nothing and sit in our home. So
Yes.
that's how I started working on my communication skills. But before that, I have been teaching my students tenses, voices, active, passive, indirect, direct speeches. So all the grammar portion I have been covering. But
Okay.
now I'm teaching a spoken English.
Hmm. Okay. Great. Yeah. So I have been learning this language since one more than 1 year.
Hmm. I can. Yeah, you had told me last time.
Yeah. So I think now we have to wrap up this
Mhm.
because we have talked a lot today.
Yeah, we talked a lot. Yeah. So I also want same. I want to wrap up this session now.
Yes. Okay, then. Thank you so much for having me here. It was lovely talking to you again.
Same here. Same here. Thank you very much. It was a great conversation and it was great having with you here. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye bye. Have a good night.
Bye. Good night.